Two wheels are better than four. From the mountains to the shore, find us rolling up to the pub. We're 17 Scooters Club.
I do. Okay, welcome to 17 Scooters Club. This is Liv. This is Katie. Katie's got her legacy like background up. Her legacy farm.
Yeah, this is like
G6
yeah,
ranch. Is that what it says?
yeah, this is my rant.
G6.
This is like the nicest background. I'm usually sitting in the dark or sitting in like a swirly chair, like an office chair, but this is actually my room and it does look way nicer sitting here.
Honestly, that's me right now. I just have to like open something on my phone that's bright and put it in front of me. That's not doing
Like
it.
a ring light.
I have a ring light, but it died. And so
Oh.
it's inside charging, but I'm outside. I'm just gonna blind myself with my
Oh, is
flash.
that why? I was like, Liv, is there
Hello.
wind? And she was like, yeah, there's a little wind. And I thought it was wind in your tiny house.
No, well, I don't know. I'm very confused by the weather recently. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it. Like I'm still not used to California. I think it's very numbing just to have like the same weather year round. That's just a little bit different. Like it's literally just like this. If you're not
I
watching,
would
I'm just doing
kill.
waves in my hand. Like
I would
I don't understand how time's passing. It's very discombobulating. However, last week I I was wondering why I was waking up and like I was having a hard time getting out of bed. And I'm like, number one, it's because I'm not a morning person. There's only like 2 days of the week I have to get up before 12 p.m. and I dread them every day. Like it's a waste of my time not getting able to sleep to my full potential. I'm a very good sleeper. Um and so I just figured it was that. And then I looked at the thermostat
the
and it was
thermostat.
40 thermostats. It was 45 degrees inside of my house. And I'm like, okay, well, that's why I'm having trouble taking all of my clothes off and putting new ones on because who in their right mind is going to get naked in 45 degrees? But I live in a trailer and it's really hard to know what the weather's going to be. Like, it's all over the place. And that being said, that was last week. I had this realization. I'm like, okay, so if I have to wake up early, I'm just going to wear the clothes that I need to wear the next day to bed. And I used to do that in high school. I used to wear my clothes to bed
We talked
because
about that last episode.
we did. I'm just like such not a morning person that I can't do it. Um, and so I was thinking about doing that, and then all of a sudden it was 90 degrees today, and I'm like, this is just 7 days apart. I don't know what's going on, but apparently this is just California.
It's just how it is.
It's just what it is.
Speaking of not being able to get up, if you notice my cool robe, so I am in my bathrobe era, and it's not for comfort. It's not for chilling. It is literally for when I have to get up and normally to go to run club, but like or get up or go do something. I cannot get up if I'm cold. Like if I'm cold and it's not ever 45 in my house, but if it's like dark and cold, I can't get out of bed. So I leave my bathrobe right next to my bed. And it's really been a game changer. This one is like fuzzy. So I get up, put the bathrobe on, and I'm like, oh my God, okay, this isn't that bad. It's like I'm still in bed, but I'm standing up. I'm wearing my bed.
I do like your thought behind this, where like you're getting up, you're putting like instead of just throwing whatever clothes that are around you on, you're
Mhm.
like you're putting your bathrobe on, you're washing your face, you're doing your
Mhm.
makeup, you're doing your hair, and then once you're like warmed up for the day, then you could actually decide on an outfit. I like
Yes.
your logic behind this because I fall into the same issue. Mostly because I have a uniform that I have to wear, but
Yeah.
also because like it's cold, I'm just gonna put clothes on, and once the clothes are on, I'm not gonna like why would I change the clothes? These clothes are already dirty now. I put them on.
That's my
Um,
problem. I get up, I
yeah.
throw on like, oh, like let me put on my sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and then I'm like, oh, I'll just wear it all day. But then I'm like, oh, I don't know, like I don't really want to wear it. And then
Okay, if you put on like a sweatshirt and sweatpants and you don't actually work out in them, you wear them all day. Do you have like this extra pile that's like, I could wear these again, but they're not dirty, but they're also not clean enough for me to fold and put back into a drawer?
so normally, yes, but because I do live on a farm, like if anything, I worry about what touches the outside of it. So like for example, I wore my sweatpants to go collect eggs and I have to climb in the
Ew.
chicken coop. And it's not like I'm stomping like nothing's really touching it, but like the chickens touched it. So I'm like, so I err on the side of washing. But if I don't go anywhere and they're just like my house clothes, like a 1950s house coat, but just just
Yeah,
sweatpants and
you're
sweatshirt.
wearing your 1950s house coat.
I love it. I will
Yeah.
wear them again without washing them.
What's funny is like, okay, so I've talked about this before. Since I live in a trailer, my closet is the loft in the trailer. And somehow, like, I know it's up there somewhere, but the tie to my bathrobe is up there and I can't find it.
Just the tie.
So just the tie. So, but I keep my bathrobe downstairs. So I've been putting my bathrobe on and putting like I have this like it's a brown snakeskin belt with like gold hardware, and so I've been putting my bathrobe on and then putting this like snakeskin belt on it just because it
No.
was like the first belt I grabbed. And I'm like, this is a vibe. And the other day it was so cold that I got dressed and then I got dressed in bed and then I crawled out of bed and then I put the bathrobe on. So I'm wearing like my bartending jeans, bartending shirt, sports bra. Another note, I haven't worn a real bra like at all in my adult life. It's either no bra or sports bra.
I'm on
Like
the same page with you with
like
that.
like if you need to wear like a real bra, you don't need a bra. Like
Yeah.
anyways, um and I went to work and I got out of the car and took my bathrobe off on the street on street
You were to
parking,
work?
threw my bathrobe onto the passenger's side and then yeah, went on in.
I'm telling you, bathrobes are great for that reason. It's kind of like a long coat, but warmer and fuzzier, and just like you could wear it in bed and wash it.
Hmm. See, I needed something for like the in between. Most this is funny because this is like a revelation for us, but like it's just what most normal girls do. I just needed like an in between. It's just like I don't want to do my makeup after I put like my white sweater on, but
Mhm.
then it's like I also don't want to like do it with a t-shirt on and then have to like take my shirt off
Up,
and
up and
mess up
over.
my face. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been really liking that for that reason is that I get hot and I get cold, so I can take it on and off, and I don't have to put it up over my head, like you said. Like if I do my hair or if I do my makeup, I can just wrap and
Have you
unwrap.
Dysoned your hair at night yet? Have you worn your bathrobe and Dysoned your hair?
It's way too hot. No, the bathroom has to come off to Dyson, and then
That's what I'm
after I'm
saying.
done, I have to put it back on.
Like a couple weeks ago, Natalie's not here to vouch this. Natalie, like I hear Natalie arriving at my house and she walks in the door and I'm in the bathroom with the door shut and I'm Dysoning my hair. And I'm like, Natalie, you could come in, but I'm naked. I had my jacket, like my fuzzy thing on and then
Wait,
I
you
just
told us
started blow
this.
drying my hair. Yeah, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's way too hot. I have a lot of things written down. I just have to find them. So I know the first one I wrote down. So
Okay.
Hassam and I were at a couple bars, and every single time I went, oh, I was looking for my phone, but it's literally the light that I'm using. Um, every time we sat down, every single time I turned the Olympics on these past 3 weeks, it's been curling, and I've been like, what the heck? Like, I want to see the figure skaters. I want to see like the skiers, even the half pipers. I actually really enjoy the people going down that slide in their little carts and stuff. But bobsled, the little bobsledders. But no, every single time it's been curling. And you know, I looked at Hassam and I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm a big believer in what you set your mind to, you could really achieve because how many people are out there really setting their mind to something and waking up every day to make that thing happen? Like, there's not a lot of people, and I that comes
Mhm.
from a girl who sat in rooms with music directors in LA. Like, there's really not a lot of people legitimately trying to do that.
Mhm.
And I looked at him and I'm like, if you wanted to go to the Olympics, I think your best bet is curling. Like, I think you could wake up tomorrow, you could get a coach, you could find a team, you could start curling tomorrow, and you could be in the Olympics in 2 years or 4 years. Sorry, 4 years. And I truly believe that. I don't think that I don't know how curling
Is that
is
the little
a,
scrub brush?
yeah, I'm like, I want those ladies to clean my floor. I could say that. I could say that because I'm a girl. I want them to deep clean my house because that's what they're
Would
doing.
be great.
They're just scrubbing the
Is
tile.
there a science? There has to be a science. Like, is there like the quicker you scrub, the more ice melts, so the farther the thing is going to go, like that hockey puck thing is going to go. So, like, if you're reaching the end, you want to scrub lighter, so there's more friction, but at the beginning, you want to scrub harder.
It's got to be.
There has to be a science.
That's what the men were like saying to me. I wasn't watching enough cuz I really don't care. I was actually quite offended that it wasn't Alyssa skating every time I turned the Olympics on. But yeah, so I guess it's like a textured board, and then
Oh,
you like you sweeping it makes it smooth, and that's what
I thought it
makes
was
it.
ice.
Well, yeah, but
Okay.
the ice is textured. And then I
Oh,
think by
okay.
you sweeping it, it makes it smooth, and that determines the path it's going to take. And then it turns into bumper cars, and then they get to sweep. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you said that because I was watching the Olympics, and did you see what happened with I want to call it the bobsled? No, the luge. What happened with the luge that all the Americans fell out of the luge? Um,
No.
oh my
Stupid
God, I
Americans. What's wrong with us?
so funny. Side note, I'll send you that. But every time I turned it on, it was either ice skating or all the Americans falling out of the little luge truck thing. So I
That's
never
the
saw.
content I want. That's the content I'm looking for. And I didn't get any of it.
I didn't see the what you said curling, but I would have maybe liked it.
No, it was bad. We went to like we were after dinner trying to watch something, and then it was curling, and then we went to dinner the next night and sitting at the bar, and it was curling. And then I was even texting mom. She's like, are you watching like the figure skating? And I'm like, no, I'm stuck with curling. And I FaceTimed her, and she's like, we're watching Ilya. And I'm like,
Yeah,
of
I
course
was
you
there.
are. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm not,
Um,
curling's on.
no, you have to look up I think it was the luge, and it's the four-person luge where they're like on the ice track thing and they're running really fast, and then they have to all push their sled and then jump in. And I didn't know that there's four of them. Each of them has a little job to do when they get in their sled, but none of them made it in except for one. So like all three or four of them bounced out and they slid down after their sled, and it was just really funny. They were
That
just like
sounds,
sliding
don't
around.
a lot of people die doing that.
Well, if they fell in front of their sled, yeah, they probably would get run over. But then this one guy, he made it into the sled. All of his other teammates were slipping and sliding and literally just slid down the slide. And they're like, "Oh no!" But this guy made it into the fast sled, and his job was not the breaker. Like the somebody's job was the brakes, and he fell out. So this guy had to luge down. He was shaking and quaking all around. I don't know how long the luge track is, but then they got footage of him. He was like, "Oh shoot, like my friend, my buddy who sits in the back, he usually hits the brakes, but he's not here." So he had to like scoop back and hit the brakes. And then all the other Olympic bobsledders or luger, I think they're lugers, lugers, all of them jumped up and they ran out and they like were making sure he was okay.
Aw.
But there's some
I
really
would
funny
have got out and yelled
video
at all of them
moments.
so bad. I'm like, are you fucking like, are you okay? You have
There's
one job. Get your ass in a sled. I did this when I was 2 years old. I did this before I had memories. Put my butt in a sled and sled down the hill. Like, what are you
oh,
doing?
it's called the
Why did
bobs.
you miss the sled? Why? I don't get it. That's another one. If I woke up tomorrow and said the only goal I have in my life was to go to the Olympics, I could put my ass in a sled and hit the brake. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. People are so stupid. This is like men in sports. Like, they have no brain. I don't get it.
I'm sending you a video right now.
Okay, I'm excited to watch this. Sorry, guys. I'm going
So
dark.
I'm
I'm going
so
dark.
funny. And they're just sliding down like, oh no. But they put the Incredibles music to it.
I love that. I
And
hear
it's
it
called the
right
bobsled,
now.
not the luge. I think they're two
So
different things. Is the
I can't.
bobsled the outdoor? I think the bobsled is the outdoor one. And the luge, I saw a video of someone saying, I didn't know the luge goes sideways. I think the luge is like indoor. Or,
Interesting. Yeah,
maybe.
they're both the same thing in my head, but I know that there's a few different ones. Like there's ones you do solo, there's ones you do duo. I think there's a trio and a four. I really didn't know until this year that you did anything with four people on it. That's kind of crazy. Oh my god.
Play it with a little music on.
There he goes. Oh my, I'm outside, so my Wi-Fi.
For those of you who didn't see this, look up the American Olympic bobsled fail, and they're just
I
falling
have
out
to
one
watch
by one.
again. Just like, and I'm just gonna say this: we let men run companies, Like
And they're
they're
falling all
they're
out.
falling out of a fucking sled and we let them rule like our finances. What are we doing? Like,
They
can we
trained
not?
all their life
Yeah,
to get here.
I hope that they like end up working at Walmart. No shade to Walmart, shade to these guys. Shade to these guys.
I wonder if they
Don't
got
get
a.
it.
I'm taking my yoga toes out. I wonder if they got like a redo. Like, could they just redo it?
Well, I mean, they're fucking idiots. Like, their first guy, the only guy that did his job,
He had
is
to do
basically
everybody's job.
dead. No, the only guy that did his job is gone. He's dead. You let him go down alone. You let one person do 4 jobs because you
That's
fuckers are
true.
falling out and not trying to hang. One of them was sort of in there. He just fell right out. And I'm like, you could have held on a little further. You could have
They
done a
could have.
better job, but you didn't.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the highlight of the Olympics for me. That was the opening act.
I love that. I have some more. I have some things I've written down, but I don't
Okay.
know where they go.
Go for
Maybe I don't. Oh my god. Okay, so I've been my Garmin died.
it
And I
permanently.
yeah, like it's at this point where so I've had the same one. I had actually okay, back in like high school, I had like the very first Garmin
You had
and
one
it
in high
was
school.
yeah, it was like purple and clunky and it
Mm-hmm.
didn't like it just tracked like the distance you went. It probably couldn't even show you. I think it could show you on a map where you went, but like that's about it. And it's probably still in mom's attic. But
Really?
yeah, you should look it up. It's actually kind of fun, kind of vintage. It's like 15 years old now, not dating myself, but that one lasted a very long time. This one I got in 2020, I think. And so I've had it for like 6 years and it I've worn it every day. I've used it every day. So I
Mhm.
get it. I've also gone swimming in it and I wash dishes with it every day. I
Well, it's
shower in
waterproof.
it. Yeah, it's waterproof, but I put it through hell. Um but recently it's just started like mid run, I'll like look up and it won't like do you know how you'll check it? And then
Mm-hmm.
like usually when you put your wrist up, it'll light up and show you what's going on. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll do that and like it doesn't light up and I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like in power saving mode. So I'll double tap it and nothing happens. And so I'll start like hitting all the buttons and I'm like, I need to see what's going on. And then nothing happens. And I'm like, oh, like it's dead. It died. And I'll plug it in and then it'll be like, your run has been going on for 18 hours. And I'm like, no, it hasn't. It's like 2 miles and 18 hours later. And I'm like, this is rude. I ran 5 miles and you
Um.
didn't even
Are
catch
you
it.
there?
And now like I just feel like can you not hear me?
I do
Did
have
you
a
lose
stable
me? Hello,
internet
hello,
connection.
hello.
Oh, there we go.
It's stable over here.
It says,
But
"Do you don't have a
anyways, I'm
stable
just saying
internet
like
connection?" I was like, "I think I do."
yes we do. Yes we do. Um yeah, I feel like I'm off grid. I'm like my workouts don't even count. Like I was running on the treadmill
Yeah.
and Garmin like the app, it doesn't number one, running on a treadmill sucks. But it
Mm-hmm.
was like 90 degrees today, so I'm like I can't it's 90 degrees and noon. I can't run outside right now. So I went to the gym and I'm like, this sucks. But I can't like start my run on my Garmin app because I don't have my watch. And so I put it on my Garmin app and I'm like, wait, you can't track my run. So it doesn't count. So like Garmin
Yeah, I'm
thinks I'm
speaking here.
slacking. They're going to be like,
Yeah. You're gonna
woo.
need a
And
new
then
watch, I guess.
I guess so. Or I'm kind of liking off grid because I didn't realize. I'm like, oh, people texted me and I didn't see. And then what else happened? I'm like, how much did I sleep? How many steps have I walked? When are my text messages coming through? What's my stress levels? I'm like, maybe it's better to be off grid. Maybe I should
Maybe.
just like be off grid for a little while.
I've been not wearing my Garmin. I will wear it for like recovery and I will wear it for workouts, but like during the
Mhm.
day I've been wearing like an actual watch, like a fashionable one. And I do 10,000 times a day I go like this, thinking it's like
Yeah,
and the watch doesn't work. The one that I wear it's literally just for like cuz I like how the watch it doesn't the battery doesn't work. So every single
I'd
day
been
I'm
like that for a while.
going like it's not
Yeah, I'm
there.
like, you probably can't see it because I'm so white right now. You
I
can
can see
kind of
it.
see it. But like, yeah, I'm even extremely white where that is. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to a little bit fall into the fashionista world a little bit better, but I also fall into a world where you wear like jeans and a t-shirt to work, so a Garmin's very fitting for that.
You gotta track your steps.
So I gotta know. I'm walking like 8 to 10,000 steps at work every shift.
Yeah,
So and
you're
then
doing miles.
I'm walking like half a mile to my car, so like a mile to and from my car.
Yeah, you're
Like
definitely doing.
that'll count. It needs to actually count, but
You gotta put Garmin in your pocket, like your phone in your pocket, I guess.
I know, maybe I'll just try to find one of the old days ones and then grab that back.
Hmm.
I'm hearing
Um,
noises.
that sounds like a frog. It's a frog. It's a frog.
Yes. Okay, sorry. That also being said, since it was 90 degrees today, I'm outside. Because who
Um,
knows? Who knows what the weather's going to be next week?
okay, so are we ready for my conspiracy? I'm curious what you think. Okay, so this, of course, I asked Chat about it, and Chat said, "This is there's no evidence backing this up, but we know that Chat likes to be the voice of reason. So take this with what you will. Nobody cancel me either. However, this has been all over TikTok. This has been all over the internet, and I did do brief research on it, and I couldn't find these like documents or medical records that everyone was talking about. However, have you seen, I don't know if I should call it a trend, have you seen the idea or the trend that Helen Keller was a fake?
Yes, actually.
Because before we go into that, think about like when I saw that, I was like, wow, how do I know so much about Helen Keller? And I feel like our elementary school, that's all we learned about. Like in every single grade, I feel like I did a Helen Keller project, read all about Annie the teacher. I feel like we did a Helen Keller play. Like we did a lot of
I feel
Helen
like I
Keller.
do remember that Helen Keller play.
We did a lot
Interesting.
of them. Um, so what have you heard? Do you remember, or just the idea that oh she was fake?
I've literally just seen like I've been scrolling through Instagram and seen like still posts, not even videos, of them being like Helen Keller's fake and like where
It's like a
there's like
box,
a picture with like yeah, like
black.
a sentence written over it and I'm like, "Huh, funny idea." And I keep scrolling.
Yeah. Okay. So I this has been coming back to me over and over. So I was like, well, let me just look. I didn't do the deepest dive because I was like, okay. But apparently, what they're saying is that these medical records from 19 oh whatever to 1920 were released. I don't know where they're from. I don't know how detailed the records were because I don't feel like they kept any good records back in the 1900s. But apparently, they
Like you and
released.
your rocks? Could be.
Yeah. So apparently, they released these records, these medical records, and allegedly these medical records say that Helen actually could partially see and actually could partially hear, and that she was able to respond to hearing things when Annie wasn't there. Because wasn't the whole thing that Annie, the teacher, would like when Annie heard something, she would let Helen know,
I
and
have
so like
no
they
idea.
needed each other.
I will be honest, most of my schooling was me creating quick little songs to remember things so I could ace the test and then completely wipe everything out of my brain. So nothing in history means anything to me. Math is like, okay, because that's like a little bit. English, I was pretty good at. Science, forget about it. So yeah, everything was very like short term memory. Let me memorize this so I get a good grade and then out the brain because nobody needs to know this shit. So actually, I have no idea who Annie is. Was it a
So
monkey?
Annie, no, Annie's the
Okay.
teacher. So
Okay.
apparently Annie like found quote unquote found Helen when she was 7 years old, and somehow teacher Annie like took Helen out under her wing and figured out how to communicate with her and figured out how to like teach her to do all these crazy things. And so the story is that well, what we learned was basically that Helen was deaf and blind, but Annie taught her how to do like amazing things. Like taught her how to like I don't know, she could read, she could like how to read braille, how to do this, but was like if you can't see and you can't hear, I don't know how that's possible. But like it was just like, oh my gosh, a come to Jesus moment. So
Hmm.
then now this controversy, I guess, is that somehow medical records were released from the early 1900s that saying that Helen could actually like partially see and partially hear, and they said that there were tests saying that like when Annie wasn't around, when the teacher wasn't around, Helen was able to respond to things that she could, like audible things. So they're
Hmm.
like, hey, like if your teacher's not here telling you, tapping you, saying that there's something happening, how do you know? And granted, I don't know anything about being deaf or blind. So again, don't come at me. But yeah, so that's the whole thing. And then they were saying that okay, Annie was basically taking advantage. Like, yeah, fine, she was a good teacher, but every time she took Helen in public and was like showing her off and was like, oh my god, look, she's so good,
She's
let's
like
go to the library.
embellishing.
Yeah, and she was making money off of it.
Hmm. Okay, well, I could see that. So I have a friend who's blind, and he says that like half the time, like for the most part, it's just like really, really blurry vision, and so he can like make out some colors, but it's like it just like if it just blurred really a lot, so he could see like, oh, in front of me is green. Oh, there's like a person right here. If you get really close, you could see their features, but like if you're not really close, you can't. So you like hold like a book really clear. But sometimes he wakes up and like the first half, like the top half of his vision is just black, like it's glitching out. So like
Mm,
he'll be able to see the bottom half of his vision really, um,
that's crazy.
yeah, like really blurry, and then the top half is just black, and then sometimes it switches, and I'm like, that's kind of wild. Like
That's
your
insane.
brain, your eyes are just glitching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it
Um.
was something like that or what. Again, I didn't read the research. I tried to look real quick to see if there were document, like you know how sometimes we could find like the CIA documents we could find. I could not find any Helen Keller medical records, but like, wasn't it? Weren't we getting crazy saying at one point Helen was flying planes and stuff? Did you hear that?
No.
Let me look that up. Helen
No.
Keller.
To be honest, most of my childhood, I thought that Jane Goodall and Helen Keller were the same person.
That's why you asked about monkey.
Yeah. um, it's just coming back to me. Um,
Yeah, it says. Wait.
yeah.
See, this is why
Am
people
I
are like,
right?
well, hold on, I'm gonna send you a
Okay.
picture. No, Jane Goodall was like the monkey communicator lady.
Yeah, they were the same person to me all my childhood.
Okay, so allegedly, look at this picture on the right. And again, I'm not Helen Keller shaming whatsoever. I think, you know, she was dealt some shitty cards and she clearly got famous. She did something with her life. However, tell me Helen is touching the plane. She's got her hands over there in the propellers. It says Helen Keller flew a plane. Yes, she needed assistance in 1946, a trip related to her international advocacy work. She took control of a small aircraft while in flight. She was guided by a pilot named Archie, but she's flying the
Archie.
plane. She was not a licensed pilot. She did not take off or land the plane, but it was documented that she was able to control the plane. Granted, is the
Hmm.
plane? I know the plane is not just fly, like yes, the plane can just fly, but I'd be a little nervous to be like, oh, Helen Keller, your hands are dipping down. Like, what if it goes into like a downward thing? I don't know.
Well, with a partner in aviation, what I do know is that there are two pilot chairs. Like
Okay,
you could be sitting co-pilot and have like a handle in front of you and a bunch of stuff in front of you, be technically controlling the plane, but you also have somebody else right next to you that also has control over the plane. So it could just be when like when you're a kid sitting on your dad's lap driving the car. It's like, "Oh, I'm driving the car." But like, no, your dad's foot's on the pedals and he could grab the wheel if you need, and his knees probably on the wheel and you don't even see it. Like I feel like she was just is like a spectacle. Like I feel
making
like
money.
she was probably taken advantage of by this Annie person, and like maybe she was mostly deaf and mostly blind, but like once in a while she came to. But they're like she's blind and deaf because that is the truth. She's blind and deaf. But
Yeah,
like there are like you could be legally blind and still see things. You could be legally deaf and still hear things.
true.
Um, but like legally blind is just you can't drive a car. So
Wait,
I feel like you're just taken advantage of as a spectacle to make money. in all of that. And that was a part of the plane. It's like, oh, look at this blind and deaf person fly a plane.
Yeah, no, and this is just me too. I just was just Googling. Did you know she was from the 1800s?
No.
I thought she was a 1900s
1800s.
lady. Yeah, it says Annie Sullivan was hired as Helen Keller's teacher in 1887. So like the late 1800s, but like I didn't know Helen was born in the 1800s. I thought that kind of makes it even less credible because when did we start flying planes? Was she flying the
That's
early
what gets
plane?
me confused with Jane Goodall, because Jane Goodall was born in 1934.
Yeah, yeah, she
Okay,
was
and when was she? When were we flying planes?
I think in the 30s, right?
Let's
So I
see.
guess, I mean, it was a little unsafe. Didn't they have like lawn chairs inside the
This
planes?
okay. The first flight was December 17th, 1903. Leave it to a North Carolina man to figure out how to fly. Just saying.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird. It like aviation is very new.
Yes. I
Like
don't know.
we're trusting something that's only been around for 100 years.
It's true, and that's what
I
I'm saying. They trusted Helen. Maybe it was like back then that yeah, it was kind of like yeah, they got the co-pilot here. Helen could just like hold the reins of the plane. Talking
well,
in horse.
I'm picturing like test flights, like
Yeah,
hopping off the runway for like a few feet and then hopping back down. And be like, well, fuck it. If she dies, she's blind and she's deaf. So what's she doing for society?
do
Like she's
you
not speaking, she's not writing, she's not typing.
do you
Like
think they were using Helen as a test dummy?
probably.
And then Annie was so this is the whole thing. They're saying that was making money off of her. So do you
Mhm.
think Annie Sullivan, the teacher, was like, "Hey, my girl Helen, I could tell her what to do to fly the plane." And then Annie's like, "Look at I've transformed her from someone who can't speak or hear and now she can understand so much so that she knows where she is." Also, just hold on, pause. Just in explaining this, if you cannot see and you cannot hear, how can you explain A, what an airplane is, what the idea of an airplane is? How can you explain that to a 1900s person who was born in the 1800s who didn't even fathom that airplanes could be a thing? And then
I don't
no
know.
less you're going in an airplane. This
Ew.
is what's happening. This is what it feels like. She can't see or hear anything. But also you're driving the airplane and if you like mess up, you're going to crash the airplane. Like she doesn't even know what the sky and the ground. Like how do you even explain that?
It's giving like a handler is putting her in a seat, taking her hands, putting them on the steering wheel, and then the co-pilot is taking off and landing. It's giving like completely controlling her.
Yeah.
Also, it's also giving, this is also something I wanted to talk about. I realized well, it goes along with songwriting, but anyways, just back into it. You get caught in a lie and you just have to stick to it. Like remember when you're little and you're like when we used to like wrap our arms and
Mm-hmm.
like, oh my god, I hurt my hand. I don't know why we did that, but we would take all the ace bandages and play doctor and wrap each other up and then like beg to go in public and pretend that we were all hurt. And but at some point we would have like an arm wrapped up in an ace bandage and be on crutches with a cast on our leg, where it's like you're talking to a stranger like, oh my god, I hurt my arm, and they're like, oh, but like your foot's hurt too, and they're like, yeah, I hurt my foot too. It's almost giving like they brought Jane to be some sort of spectacle, and they're like, yeah, she's deaf, and they're like, but I thought like, but yesterday you said she was blind, and they're like, well, fuck it, I'm caught in this lie, I have to say she's deaf and she's blind to go
Yeah.
further. And then Jane's probably like, yeah, I mean, as long as I make some money out of it, I could be deaf, I could be blind, I could be brain dead, I don't really
I
care.
love that you're calling everyone Jane Goodall.
The first working
Call
woman.
both of them Helen Keller and Annie Sullivan Jane. But I knew what you meant. So like that's the argument that
Everybody's Jane.
she technically was. Yes, yeah, I'm not a doctor, but this is the online argument is
Mhm.
that technically, yes, she's deaf and blind, but and to what degree, who knows? But they're saying, the medical records are saying, that it wasn't to some crazy degree, that she could still kind of see, she could still kind of hear. So then I think that what they mean is like to the level that we all were taught about it in in LaGrange Elementary, that
Yeah.
Helen Keller was the woman of the world and she could do anything because she was deaf and blind and she could figure it out. So we should figure it out. We did plays, we did books, we did book reports. I've read about Helen. I watched about Helen.
I
Helen
feel
was
like
elementary
your
school life.
teachers were a lot more into Helen than mine were. Like, for sure.
My teachers loved Helen. But like,
Or I was just drawing too many pictures. I don't know.
well, maybe it was like a fairy tale that like it's from the 1800s, like it's evolved so much that, oh my gosh, she was deaf and blind, she like kind of couldn't see, couldn't hear, and then it was like, oh my god, she's doing all these crazy things, and then she died, and then
Mhm.
her legacy lived on, and it was like, oh my god, Helen could not see one thing, she could not hear one thing, but she was the smartest woman in the world.
Yeah. It also just gives a whole lot of like distraction. Like, okay, now this like gate program's happening just under our noses, and you're just completely controlling what we learn, whether it's like important or not. It's just like
True or
distraction.
not?
Just
Yeah.
distraction. Like,
Do we
oh,
think
crazy.
Helen Keller curriculum is linked to the gate program? That is the next question.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. Um,
Yeah, that was my little tidbit I
yeah,
had.
that's a lot. I have so many. So many. I don't want to get canceled, but my whole Instagram is just how the Holocaust was faked. And I
So
gotta
maybe
say,
on this kick of things being fake.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there. So I don't know if it was real and I don't know if it was fake. And I think that people need to respect that. Like, blindly, no pun intended, blindly following what you learned in elementary school is not getting you anywhere. Like, I'm not saying, oh, I saw his Instagram post, I think 100% the Holocaust was fake. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, you can't know. You weren't there. We never met Helen. I don't know if Helen's just like trying to make money on the streets. I wasn't in the Holocaust, so I don't know what happened there. Like, we have to approach life with a little bit of skepticism, healthy skepticism, like believe enough people if enough people come forward. But I don't know. That's like my current algorithm, is that giving so much proof that the Holocaust was fake. And I'm like, you have to approach it with some sort of skepticism, because we're listening to all these people who have been like lying to us and manipulating us our whole lives.
Well, here's some skepticism on that, I guess. This is going to get you
Mhm.
uncanceled. Is I do agree with you. I wonder if people, it's funny that like my topic is like a quote unquote sensitive topic and is about it being quote unquote fake, and so is yours. So I wonder if that's like people are saying like trying to be, I don't know what to say, trying to be not leaders but like saying like, oh, all these things that we have history on, whether it's true or not or it was factually right, it's all fake. Like all these people are coming out saying this is fake, this is fake, this is fake,
Mhm.
like for some clout because they want like followers, they want, I don't
Could
know.
be.
And that
Could
leads me
be.
down another rabbit hole, which I'm not prepared to talk about today, but it's regarding the same thing with like Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber, that Selena actually died in 17 and in
Had a
2017
kid.
kid. Have you been seeing that too?
Yes, and then that is what are the Kardashians' kids?
Yes. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because it's the same timeline and
I mean,
yeah.
that kid looks just like Justin, just like Justin. People have been saying that the whole time. They say just like not Chloe, not Kim. What's her name? Fuck, Chloe, Kim,
Court
Kendall, Courtney.
Courtney.
That Courtney had an affair with him, but I don't really believe that 'cause she's so old.
I
But
don't
you
believe
never
that either.
know.
I more so believe that
I
Selena
believe
Gomez,
that she took one of his kids for
yeah,
sure.
and yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's like I feel like maybe these are just all trending things that, that we're talking about. Who's to say? Who knows?
I
But
think the bottom line is like, if you weren't there, you don't know that it happened. Like, what proof? Proof in the textbooks that are also being made by the people who are lying to us? Like, I'm just saying, we gotta approach life with a little bit of skepticism. Everybody's lying to be completely frank. Like, you don't know what happened unless you were actually there.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm not paranoid. I got my head screwed on tight, you know?
Except for when it comes to Jane Goodall. You think everyone's Jane Goodall.
Everybody's Jane. Honestly, I think Jane resonated the most with me because I'm the type of person who would enter a jungle and be like, I could talk to all these animals. Listen to me. I don't want to see a human the rest of my life. All these animals, they're my family now. I I I identify as an orangutan. That would be my life. That would be
You
something
are
I
the
would do.
crazy animal whisperer.
Truly. I was trying to whisper between Tate, my German shepherd, and the neighbor's farm dog. And the problem is, the neighbor's farm dog is a Great Pyrenees who is meant to scare away wolves. My dog is a German shepherd wolf mix, pretty much. He looks like a wolf, he looks like a coyote. So, she's the sweetest dog. My dog's super sweet. You get them together and they just want to eat each other. And so I was sitting there today until I told her to sit, and I pet her, gave her some pets, and I called my dog over. And I'm like, sit, give him some pets, and I would just go between them, petting each other, and let them get a little closer. And then they would start barking at each other. I'm like, no, 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 no,
No, no,
we're
no.
friends now. And so I just kind of sat between them for like an hour trying to get them to be friends, and it didn't work. She still thinks he's a wolf.
Fun fact I just looked up about your girl Jane. Did you know Jane is still alive?
No,
Yeah,
Jane.
I thought she
Jane.
died.
Jane was born in the 40s. Good
She's
God.
still alive. She said that, yeah, Jane. Well, I looked up, was Jane Goodall killed by a monkey?
Huh?
And it said no, she was not killed by a monkey. She's alive and she remains alive. And she's an active conservationist and a founder
Wow.
of an institute. And
1934 she was born.
her and
That's
Helen
nice.
were alive at the same time.
That's why. That's they knew each other. They were friends. They were
Were
friends.
they of the same age? Were Helen?
Honestly, how funny would it be that just like white girl shows up down in Africa being like, "Show me your monkeys."
Yeah, this is like right. She was
Like
in
in
actually
early
Tanzania. I
1900s.
don't know where that is. Tanzania.
Tanzania. I don't know. United Republic of Tanzania. East Africa. African Great Lakes. There's a Great Lakes. Uganda, Kenya,
Um,
Mozambique.
Helen Keller was 54 years older than Jane Goodall. So though they were alive at the same time, they were not of similar ages.
Hmm. See, all these different countries. I've been thinking about Australia a lot recently.
Because your birth chart told you you need to be in
Yeah.
Australia.
Well, I've always thought of Australia being like, well, their accents are really cool. They're all like tan and blonde and hot.
Yep.
Um, they like country music, which is a vibe to just be like, hey, we like country music, but we're also like beachy and cool and have really cool
Mhm.
houses.
Yeah.
Um, and a lot of animals that could kill you. But like I've never thought that I could ever like I don't know, I've never pictured going there, but now I'm like
Neither.
I kind of feel pulled there. I truly do.
Have you seen TikTok, mostly TikTok, but like Instagram, whatever, videos, reels of people saying the Australian effect?
No,
I feel
what
like
is
that's
it?
very, very you. It's like they look, I don't know, like just normal people, and then they'll go to Australia, and then they become, like you said, and it's they document their journey, but they become like, yeah, this hot blonde triathlete who like gets muscles and like surfs before breakfast, and they're like, oh, the Australian effect. I'm like, wait, but this is kind of how I picture
Hmm.
everyone in Australia.
Well, I think unfortunately I would be the whitest person in Australia for sure. Like
With
I hide from the sun. I wear like neck gaiters when I'm running. I'm staying away from the sun. And like I maybe my hair, maybe I would get a little blonder, but I'm okay with being like super white and pale. Um but maybe I'd get a spray tan. How's your spray tan? Your
well, it
self
wasn't a
tan, sorry.
spray. It's good. It's good. Just don't look too closely at my arms. I need to reapply. But no, I get lots of compliments. People say like, "Oh my
Hmm.
god, have you been outside?" And I'm like, "I have." But This is
have you
not an
been to
outside
winter?
tan, guys.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not very like I go through phases and like I try to self tan and it does. It looks good for like a week. And then you have 2 weeks of it peeling off and you look ill. Like you look like you have a skin disease.
You
So I'm
gotta
like,
really exfoliate.
what's the point? What's the point in it? And it takes so much time. Like it takes a whole afternoon. I'm like, guys, I could have lived a whole life today. But instead I self tanned. I'd rather be white.
Yeah, you gotta self tan, and
I
then
don't
you gotta
know.
stand for a while. Like my self tanner, like you gotta stand up for a while. You can't sit down, which is always my downfall because I'll self tan and be like, oh, then I'm gonna work or look up something, and then I'm like, damn, I want to sit down.
Yeah, I don't know. Um anyways, remember like this is going to be a little memory as kids. This kind of goes into why I'm really good at writing songs. But remember when I was little and I used to steal everything from you? Oh, that's it. It was steal, not lie. This breaks everything. And when you made like the live, like you came up with my name in sign language and it was live, but it was steal, but with the L.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what. Wait, were you going to tell a story about that? Because I'll tell you how that comes from, what that comes from.
Well, I thought it was going to be originally I thought it was about lies. And because you used to call me a pathological liar when I was
I
little.
did.
Well, I didn't realize that people don't lie. Like, I, like, you have the ability to make up a story. Um,
You were living a whole separate life. You were
no,
just living
you
whatever
could,
life you wanted to live, I guess.
like, people are very honorable about not lying. And I'm like, guys, if you need to spin a story out of the blue, just go for it. Like,
Minute.
spin it, guys. But yeah, people don't lie. I lie all the time, but it keeps me going. But anyways, um, I realized that that's what makes me a good songwriter. Like I'll like have a moment and be like, that could be drama, and I take it at home and I write like a really dramatic story about it, and I'm just like, lie after lie after lie after lie, and then I wonder why people are like, what did I do? And I'm like, nothing. It's just like a great story.
Just a
Um,
crazy
and
story.
then yeah, I just realized people don't lie as much as I do.
You've always been like that.
I call it being a creative. I'm a very creative brain.
You were, because I think when this is again throwing it back to last episode when you cut your hair and left it on the alarm clock,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure you tried to tell us it was a mouse. You're like, guys, it's just a mouse. And we're like,
Guys,
no, it's not a mouse.
I've been practicing my whole life.
You really have. With such conviction, it's a mouse. I don't know
Mhm.
what to tell
I call it storytelling.
you.
Did I really say? I think I probably tried to say it was you because you also had really blonde, curly hair.
Yeah.
Your hair was straight by then, but mine was curly.
No, I think
Interesting.
I remember waking up, touching it, being like, "What is this?" And then you said, "Oh my god, a mouse! A mouse! That's a
not
mouse!
not Mickey. Mickey again.
That's not a mouse!"
That's funny.
No,
Yeah, well, sorry Natalie didn't join us today. She's wearing 12 hats, as she says. And
she's
she really
busy.
is.
I want to talk to her. We could talk about this next episode, but if you're listening to this now, go watch it so you understand what we're talking about when we watch. It's called 11/23, no, 11/22/63, November 22nd, 1963, and it's about Kennedy's assassination. And it has a little twist to it. It's about a time traveler, like a guy who's in our era, and he accidentally travels back there and he tries to change the trajectory, and it's like really interesting, and it's very Natalie coded. It's about like CIA
Hmm.
hits, like the CIA offered, like wanted the hit and he has to go back and change the thing. It's actually really cool, so go watch that, and we're gonna talk
Yes.
about.
Speaking of, we also, I mean, I want to talk about Epstein. There's
Yeah,
so much. My biggest thing right now is Brittany and Epstein, but
we gotta
we gotta go.
wait,
We gotta
we gotta
look
go.
into it.
The last thing I'm going to say about the Epstein, you can go on some website. I don't know if you Google it, I'm sure it'll come up because I looked, and you can look up names or keywords and it'll search. It's highly redacted. So, like, people, this has been another trend that people have been searching their own names, and sometimes they find that they are part of it. Or, like, if you search like Selena Gomez is part of it or whatever. So, you can search keywords and it'll come up through all the files of
That's
what it
crazy.
is. Like, people have been looking up pizza, like pizza's in there like 50,000 times or something. So they're like, what was going on with the pizza? So yeah, this is a whole deep
is a
dive
lot.
that we can't get into now, but go Google
That's
that,
something
find yourself.
I would never be a part of because I just don't answer my phone. I'm like, sorry, you guys just really couldn't get to me. Like the
She's offline.
island
Her watch is
island
gone.
sounds great. My watch is gone. I'm off grid, guys. I have the tan, but that's about it.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, thanks for watching. If you have any insight or any stories or anything you just want to tell us, 17scootersclub at gmail.com. We're on TikTok at 17scootersclub. Same with Instagram. And we're not on Facebook yet. We'll get there. Maybe
We'll
one
get there
day.
one day.
Yeah. Anyways, scoot scoot.
Bye.
2 wheels are better than 4. From the mountains to the shore, find us rolling up to the pub. We're 17 Scooters Club.